Well, my friends, good morning. Wanted to step back in here and take a little bit of time and talk to you a little bit. But I wanted to get this shot in so that when I create the video for YouTube, this is the thumbnail that pops up. So yeah, just bear with me a second and I'll get outside and show you what's going on. Talk to you a little bit. So bear with me. I'll be right back. Yeah, look at that baby. Obviously, I've got to get my little Rose out of my neighbor's yard. She tolerates it because she knows what it is I'm doing. She gets it. Yeah, yellow, 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 everywhere. Yellow, green. Yeah. That's what's going on in my world. Now, it's beautiful today. I won't go directly into the sunlight, but we're in between storms. That's the only way I can put it. We were called off yesterday because of rain. And we've got thunderstorms coming in this morning. Doesn't look like it right now from these skies, but it's coming. It is definitely coming. I don't know what to call this video. The long goodbye. You know, my yard held up through the drought here in Ohio, and it stayed green and it kept growing, and as you can see, it's still growing like mad. And it's only going to get worse now that the rain is here. And if we've got the thunderstorms coming in like they say, the natural release of nitrogen that's going to happen is going to be phenomenal, which will make things go even greener, which is good because we got a lot of dormant lawns that you know, certain types of breeds of grass just don't like. But the gardens, you know, they seem to, at least mine, and this is the bad bed. Somebody attacked it last year, put something in there, and nothing grew. And this all came up wild this year. I don't know what they poured in there. You know, those unemployables, what have you. Yeah. Yeah, I know some of you heard it. I said it. The long goodbye. Some of you know about it, some of you don't. Most of you don't. Because my friends don't share. I'm the perfect hidden secret, I guess. Now, I got a phone call yesterday asking me to contact a gentleman. So I reached out to him. Turns out he had just recently purchased the book prior to the drought hitting, and he read through it, loved it, followed the instructions, and throughout the drought, while everybody else's yards were browning up in his neighborhood, his was greening up, and everybody there is asking questions, and they're jealous. Well, when you understand what's going on in the soil, not in the plants, I can't stress that enough. It is not the plants, it's in the soil. When you start to understand what's in the soil, everything else just responds in kind and becomes those kind of giants. That's 30 plus feet easily growing up over the house. And I don't do anything. You know, I watch neighbors' yards, and as a bird flies by, it reminds me. I watch neighbors' yards and I see the birds avoiding their yards and coming only to my yards to get worms. Here they come. It's because there's organic life in my soil, and there are thousands and thousands of worms in here that you just don't have in your gardens. You just don't have in your yards. So I'm naturally rototilled by the worms that this other process just does not keep in mind. But hey, I'm growing. I'm growing like mad. You know, a couple of you poke fun at me because I'm constantly sitting on a mower just in my own yard. But, you know, I'd hate to see your grass. That's because I love it green. I'm sorry. You know, letting it grow two months before you cut it, just, there are so many detrimental things going on when you do that. Both to the soil and to the grass itself, because the grass is reaching adulthood and dying off. Instead of thriving, it's dying. Yeah, you may be reseeding and regrowing every cycle, but it is not conducive to healthy soil. There's the helper. You know, she's really loved in my barbecue videos. You guys don't see her over here much because I haven't been here. I mean, we don't want to watch that, do we? Anyhow, yeah, the long goodbye. I'm being sued with the book. Collection agency, I guess you could say, but it's already gone to the court system, so it's beyond just some BS agency. I've gathered half of it, and I'm still in trouble. And not working doesn't help. We didn't work yesterday because of the storm. We're not working today. I don't know what the rest of the week looks like. I'm having my doubts. You know, I need to get out to 2,000 people or so and get some books sold, some actual print copies. You know, Amazon is doing their thing. They've run up the ink prices. They run up the page prices. They've, yeah, they're really putting it to us. Meanwhile, you know, they're cutting our throats with the digital copies by not paying us for them. Until the very last page is read, we don't get paid. So, you know, digital authors are really feeling the brunt of this. Good job, Amazon. You know, you're not rich enough, right? But yeah, I'm finding myself, you know, looking at these 2,000 books and looking at the kind of money I've got to raise very, very quickly. And I just, to spend the time here on YouTube, and as much as I love you guys, you know, a lot of false hopes and promises came in the last 4 or 5 years now, from a lot of really well-to-do channels that could have helped, that kept their mouth shut. And a lot of you were in on that struggle, and you know which channels I'm talking about. You know, they've got the viewership, and they probably could have helped, but they just greedily wanted the information for themselves, so that, you know, they could build videos around it without revealing the context as to where they got the information and the know-how. So I'm just kind of stuck in the middle. You know, it's not that I distrust those channels, but I no longer subscribe to them either. You know, it costs money to send those copies out to those channels to see if they'd want to back it, for them to turn around and just say, hey, yeah, we'll back you. It's going to cost you $4,000 or $5,000, $10,000 for us to even mention your book. It's like, wow, nice. Had I known that ahead of time, I never would have sent you the book. But live and learn, self-publishing and owning all the copyrights and having to deal with advertising and advertising expenses, and where to take this kind of information, who to put it in front of, how to go about doing this, that, or the other. Everybody's got ideas, but nobody's got any leads. And I just, tired of banging my head against a wall and getting no place after 5 years. And it's not that I'm giving up on the book. I know this information works. I know what it can do for you, giving you healthy oxygen and everything else. And you take it to the plants. Something new has popped up. And I mentioned this years ago, and a lot of you laughed. When thunderstorms are coming in and lightning storms are coming in, get copper tubing, copper plumbing, copper wires. Hang them over your garden. It does something. Releases nitrogen. It does something. I don't know your scientific this, that, or the others about it, but it is extremely beneficial. Now across Facebook, 2-3 years later, here comes the copper antenna. Everybody's showing you how to build it, where you get 9 turns of a grade 8 wire, which is some pretty thick copper, wrapped around a pole, and you stick it in the ground like an antenna. And how, it supposedly cancels out radiation from cell phones and wireless devices and this, that, or the other. I tried to tell you guys that years ago and got laughed at. It's okay. They laughed at a lot of people over the years that ended up being right. Well, it is what it is. I gave out the information, published it. Everybody wants the next copy for free because I'm not writing it. It's like, no, I'm in too much financial distress over the first copy. Now you want me to finish a second copy and just hand it out? How does that help me? How does that motivate me to keep going? First book is plenty of information for gardeners, yard workers, landscapers, whatever you want to call yourselves, to really achieve some spectacular results with very limited work. Iron Dog, limited work. Should be right up your alley. Just poking fun to poke fun. Great guy, really knows his stuff. I really wish I could get over to Michigan someday and catch his food truck one day and see if I don't get the White Castle results or the Taco Bell results. But we won't go into that. So yeah, there might be a final video in July when I pull the garlic to see what happens. But at this point, it's really kind of doubtful. The motivation to stay here in YouTube world and to continue to just take the beating. Maybe that's the wrong word. Maybe beating is the wrong word. Just the ignorance. The lack of support, the lack of a best kept secret on YouTube. Just like I'm the most hated barbecuer, because obviously my videos come out and catch people when they're already hungry, and it drives them crazy. But that's a completely different channel, completely different world and genre. This is strictly about, growing a healthy garden, a healthy yard with the least amount of work, the least amount of effort, and getting the greatest possible results. There's a lot of supposedly organic, they claim to be organic lawn care companies, and I get around their trucks because it's what I do in my real job, my day job, if that's what you want to call it. And I can smell the chemicals, I can smell the concentrates, and it's just not organic. I saw those yards burn out because I've got a few of them next to my regular customers that I go to see every 30 days, 35 days. And those yards burned out just as quick as, when I go to do what we call the wand test to see how organic the soil is, they fail. They fail miserably. There's nothing organic about it. They are not helping the soil. They're not understanding what's going on here, and they're not utilizing it to their advantage. I will leave you with one last thing. I've been looking and searching for a weed product, and one has come to light that I don't want to say is organic, but it is safer than most. It handles a lot of different types of weeds, a lot of different things, in a good way. It's called Fiesta. If you've got problems with weeds and you want to deal with them safely for your pets, your kids, what have you, this stuff is used on football fields, soccer fields, baseball fields, kids' playgrounds. It is safe. It is designed to be that safe. It is safe for the kids to be on as soon as it dries, within 5 to 10 minutes. So, yeah, there are products out there. I'm not going to say that they are conducive to healthy soil, but everything I'm reading and everything I'm researching on that particular product, it attacks the plant itself. It never reaches the soil. It has no effect on regular grass. All different types and breeds of grass, it completely ignores. It works on mosses all the way up through your large leaf, prickly whatevers. So if you're looking for something along those lines, look for Fiesta. It comes in concentrated forms. It looks like it might be the winner in the research that I've done so far. Again, I don't have a whole lot of time. 10 and 12-hour days are not uncommon. But I've got to do what I've got to do to try and raise this money so that they don't take the house, they don't take the truck, they don't take this, that, or the other by court order. It is that kind of serious. But yeah, you guys go ahead and keep quiet. Don't share this out. Don't tell anybody about it. Because that would be so uncharacteristic of all of you. But hey, I appreciate you stopping for the 10-15 minutes that this took. A few of you I will continue to reach out to and talk to and hang out with, and the rest of you, I truly appreciate you stopping. I hope in some way, shape, form, or another, even though you never got your hands on the book, I hope the information that you were able to get from me did help. Don't say anything on your channel about it, please. We wouldn't want to break a perfect batting score here. But I truly hope it helped. There's a lot going on here that with just a little bit of understanding can truly change a garden, can truly change a yard. So you guys all have a good one. I appreciate your time and your friendship. It's been a great 5 years. So we'll see ya. Goodbye, everybody.